Greetings friends and fellow football enthusiasts. Welcome back to the channel, where today we've got an action-packed video full of breaking news about Rangers. It's a crucial time for the club with so much happening both on and off the pitch, and in today's video we'll be covering all the latest developments that every Rangers fan needs to know about. From major performances to managerial updates, there's a lot to discuss. So if you're a die-hard Rangers supporter or just someone who loves Scottish football, make sure to stick around, hit that like button, and don't forget to subscribe for daily Rangers content. You won't want to miss anything. Now let's jump straight into the action, because Rangers have certainly been making headlines this week. Just yesterday, Rangers pulled off a dramatic comeback against Aberdeen, coming from behind in a game that had many fans on the edge of their seats. The team found themselves 2 goals down at the break with Aberdeen in full control after first half goals from Leighton Clarkson and Pape Guy. The situation seemed bleak, but credit where credit's due, the players fought hard in the second half to level things up. However, this match wasn't just about the comeback, it was about the performance, which has come under serious scrutiny. After what happened midweek against Athletic Bilbao, fans were hoping for a much better showing, but unfortunately the first half left a lot to be desired. Chris Boyd, a former Rangers icon and a player who knows all too well what it means to wear that famous blue jersey, didn't hold back in his criticism of the team's first half display. Speaking on Sky Sports during the break, Boyd didn't mince his words. He was livid, stating that some of the players who had been handed an opportunity to impress should never be seen again in a Rangers shirt. According to Boyd, what we saw on the pitch was embarrassing, and he wasn't shy about making that clear. Some of those performances were just awful, Boyd said. He singled out players like Danilo, who was signed for a significant fee but struggled to make an impact. Boyd's frustration was evident as he called out the lack of intensity and desire, something that is simply unacceptable for a club of Rangers' stature. For Boyd, it was clear too many players were passive, failing to show the fight that is needed to represent a club like Rangers. Boyd was especially critical of Ross McCorland's red card, which he believed was a turning point in the match. McCorland, who had already been booked for earlier fouls, dived into another challenge, and Boyd didn't hesitate to call it a clear red card. Boyd's harsh words weren't just aimed at the player's lack of discipline, though. He pointed out that it wasn't just the individual errors, it was the entire collective attitude. According to Boyd, Rangers were not playing with the intensity or commitment that the club's fans expect. This lack of passion and aggression on the field, especially in the first half, left him fuming. It's safe to say that Boyd's criticism has resonated with many Rangers supporters who are also frustrated with the team's recent form. There's no doubt that fans expect more, especially after such a disappointing season, and many are now questioning whether some of the current players are up to the challenge. Moving on to some massive news about Barry Ferguson's future. As Rangers manager, things are still up in the air. Ferguson, who has been in charge on an interim basis since Michael Beale's departure, is not likely to be appointed as the permanent manager unless he can lead Rangers to success in the Europa League. As we head into the second leg of the Europa League quarterfinal against Athletic Bilbao, Rangers are level at 0-0 following the first leg at Ibrox, where they managed to hold on despite a series of setbacks. In that game, Rangers were left with 10 men after Robin Proper's red card and had to rely on a crucial penalty saved from Liam Kelly to keep things tied. That result, however, came after a series of disappointing home defeats, with the team losing 5 straight games at Ibrox, 3 of which were under Ferguson's interim stewardship. Despite Ferguson's impressive away record, with notable victories against teams like Kilmarnock, Fenerbahce, Celtic, and Dundee, his struggles at home have cast a long shadow over his chances of securing the job on a permanent basis. The draw against Bilbao at Ibrox marked a Rangers' first non-defeat in 6 matches at home. Many believe that Ferguson's long-term future is dependent on what happens in the Europa League. Sources close to the club have revealed that Ferguson would need to achieve something extraordinary in Europe to secure the managerial role beyond this season. One insider even suggested that the legendary former captain would have to deliver a European trophy to silence the critics and ensure he remains in charge. However, the managerial situation is far from settled, especially with the impending changes in the club's boardroom. On April 12th, it was reported that incoming investors 49ers Enterprises, the investment group behind the San Francisco 49ers, are keen on making changes at the top, with Arsenal's technical director Edu Gaspar potentially being appointed to a senior role. This could have a major impact on the next managerial appointment, and many believe that the new regime may not have the same sentimentality towards Ferguson despite his status as a club legend. At the moment, it seems as though the club is taking a cautious approach, opting to delay any permanent decisions until the end of the season. While Ferguson's European form has been solid, particularly in away games, his struggles at Ibrox are a major cause for concern. Fans have been growing increasingly frustrated with the lack of wins at home, and this has raised doubts about Ferguson's suitability for the role in the long term. He may have impressed in some of his away games, but as we all know, success in Europe doesn't erase the need to perform domestically. His tenure has been marked by highs and lows, but the question remains, is he the right man for the job, or will Rangers need to look elsewhere? As for Steven Gerrard, who was once considered a frontrunner for a return to Ibrox under the new regime, recent reports suggest that he has distanced himself from the role. This leaves the managerial situation wide open, with no clear favorite emerging as yet. Fans are anxiously waiting to see what direction the club will take, especially as they face such a crucial period in both domestic and European competitions. In the meantime, there's been some drama off the pitch as well, with speculation surrounding the future of Romanian playmaker Ioannis Hagi. Hagi's late equaliser against Aberdeen not only secured a vital point for Rangers, but also delayed Celtic's title celebrations for at least another week. His performance was crucial, and he showed just how important he can be in big moments. However, the headlines following the game weren't just about his vital contribution, they also focused on his future at the club. Reports from Romania had suggested that Hagi was looking to leave Rangers, but the midfielder quickly dismissed these claims as fake news. Speaking after the match, Hagi made it clear that he had never said anything about wanting to leave the Serie A club. I understand why people are speculating because my contract is running down, but what I can't accept is when things are said that I haven't said myself, Hagi explained. I love this club, and I'm happy here. Finally, it wasn't all smooth sailing for Rangers in their clash with Aberdeen, as Rafael Fernandes was forced off with an injury just 20 minutes into the game. Fernandes, who was making just his fourth appearance since joining on loan from Lille in January, had been given a rare start, but his time on the pitch was cut short due to injury. This meant that captain James Tavernier was called upon much earlier than expected, as he had been named on the bench to rest ahead of the massive Europa League quarterfinal. Tavernier's quick return to action highlighted the growing concern over Fernandez's fitness, and the early injury also meant that midfielder Connor Barron's moment as captain was over far sooner than anticipated. It's another frustrating setback for Fernandes, who has struggled to make an impact since arriving at Ibrox, and Rangers will be hoping to avoid any more injury issues as they head into a crucial week for both their domestic and European ambitions. As we continue with today's video, let's dive into more of what's been happening at Rangers, where tensions are rising both on and off the pitch. With the club in such a pivotal moment of the season, every decision, every match, and every player's performance is being closely scrutinized. Fans are eager to see how things will unfold, and today we'll cover everything from the managerial uncertainty to the player dynamics that could shape the future of Rangers. One of the most significant ongoing concerns for the Rangers squad is the performance of the players under the current interim management of Barry Ferguson. The team's inconsistency has been a major topic of conversation, especially after the disappointing loss to Athletic Bilbao, which raised even more doubts about Ferguson's suitability for the permanent role. The fact that Rangers have struggled to secure victories at Ibrox has certainly played a part in the growing uncertainty surrounding Ferguson's future. While his performances in Europe have been commendable, particularly the away victories, the inability to turn things around at home has left many fans questioning whether Ferguson is the right man to lead Rangers forward. As we head into the final stretch of the season, the pressure is mounting, and Ferguson knows that his chances of landing the full-time job are slim unless he can secure something extraordinary in the upcoming European fixtures. But it's not just Ferguson's record that is under the microscope. The performances of the players themselves have been cause for concern. Players like Danilo, who was brought in for a significant fee, have not been able to deliver consistently, and that has led to some frustration among fans. The team is still struggling to find that cohesion and rhythm that fans expect from a top tier team like Rangers. Boyd's comments about the lack of intensity from the players, especially in games like the one against Aberdeen, echo the concerns of many supporters who feel the team isn't showing the heart and fight required to play for a club of Rangers' stature. While some players have been underperforming, there are others who have stepped up in crucial moments. Hagi's equalizer against Aberdeen was a moment of brilliance, and without a doubt one of the highlights of the season so far. Hagi's ability to deliver when it matters most has not gone unnoticed, and while his future at the club remains uncertain, his recent performances have shown exactly why Rangers fans have such high expectations of him. After scoring that dramatic late goal, Hagi addressed the media and made it clear that he had no intention of leaving the club. In a world where transfer rumors often run rampant, it's refreshing to hear a player speak so candidly about his commitment to the team. Hagi's message to the fans was simple: I love this club and I'm happy here. I will do anything to help this team succeed. His words were a much needed reassurance for fans who had feared he might leave Ibrox at the end of the season. It's clear that regardless of what happens with his contract, Hagi's heart is still very much with Rangers. But let's not forget the struggles that have also plagued other players. The injury to Rafael Fernandez against Aberdeen was another blow for the club, and it's becoming increasingly clear that the team's depth is being tested. Fernandez, who was just starting to find his feet at Rangers, was forced to leave the field early in the match, and his injury issues have highlighted the fragility of the squad. With so many important games on the horizon, Rangers can ill afford to lose any more key players to injury. The early substitution also meant that James Tavernier had to come on much sooner than planned. Tavernier, the club's captain, has been a consistent figure in Rangers' lineup, but with the team's ongoing injury woes, his leadership will be more important than ever in the coming weeks. Tavernier's ability to step up in times of crisis has been one of the cornerstones of his time at the club, and his experience will be crucial as Rangers face their most challenging period of the season. As we approach the business end of the season, all eyes will be on the upcoming games. The Europa League quarter-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao is now just days away, and the pressure couldn't be higher. The draw at Ibrox has given Rangers a glimmer of hope, but they will need to produce a performance of their lives to progress to the semi-finals. Ferguson's tactics will be scrutinized once again, and this match will likely be a defining moment for his tenure as interim manager. If Ferguson can guide Rangers through to the next round of the Europa League, he will have proven that he has the tactical acumen to lead the team in Europe. However, if Rangers fall short, questions about his future will only grow louder. Of course, the domestic scene isn't any less important. Rangers' current position in the Scottish Premiership is another area of concern. The club's failure to secure wins in key matches has allowed Celtic to move further ahead, and while Rangers still have a mathematical chance to close the gap, it's becoming increasingly difficult to see how they can catch up. The late equalizer against Aberdeen was a vital point in the race for second place, and it also delayed Celtic's title celebrations for at least another week. But that's not enough to satisfy the supporters. Rangers need to start picking up consistent points if they hope to finish the season on a high note. With all the changes happening off the pitch as well, it's no surprise that the future of Rangers is clouded in uncertainty. The impending arrival of 49ers Enterprises as investors has already begun to stir up speculation about the future direction of the club. The potential appointment of a new director with strong ties to Arsenal adds another layer of complexity to the situation. This influx of external influence could result in a shakeup of the managerial structure, and if Ferguson doesn't manage to secure European glory, he may find himself out of a job despite his legendary status at the club. The club's hierarchy has been taking a cautious, measured approach to all these changes, but the question remains, will Ferguson remain at the helm, or will Rangers turn to a new manager in the summer? It's clear that Rangers are at a crossroads, with important decisions Looming on the horizon the next few weeks could be pivotal in shaping the club's future. Will Barry Ferguson remain as manager? Can he lead Rangers to European success? Or will the club decide to go in a different direction? The answers to these questions will likely depend on how the team performs in the coming matches. One thing is certain, the stakes have never been higher for Rangers. Every game, every decision, and every player's performance will be under the microscope as the club enters one of the most critical periods in its history. Rangers fans are hoping for a positive outcome, and they will be hoping that their team can rise to the occasion and finish the season on a high. That's all for today's video. I hope you found this update helpful and insightful. As always, if you enjoyed the content, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for daily Rangers updates, and leave your thoughts in the comments below. We'll be back with more news, analysis, and insights very soon. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications to get all the exclusive news about Rangers FC. Don't overlook any details about your beloved team. It's crucial for Rangers FC fans. In a move that has left the footballing world stunned and the Scottish Premiership buzzing, Chinese billionaire Jack Ma is making a sensational play to acquire Rangers Football Club. Known as the mastermind behind Alibaba Group, Ma is now setting his sights far beyond the realms of e-commerce and tech and deep into the heart of European football. The prospect of one of China's richest and most influential entrepreneurs taking over one of Scotland's most storied clubs has stirred both excitement and skepticism in equal measure. Now, Ma, whose personal fortune exceeds $25 billion, is no stranger to strategic investments, but a foray into the rugged terrain of Scottish football represents a bold, almost cinematic chapter in his legacy. Sources close to the deal reveal that discussions are already underway between Ma's representatives and the current Rangers ownership group. While details remain under wraps, early reports suggest Ma sees the club not just as a football institution, but as a global brand waiting to be unlocked and scaled to massive heights. What makes this potential takeover even more compelling is the clash of cultures and visions it represents. Jack Ma, a former English teacher turned tech titan, has long been fascinated by Western business models and global influence. Rangers, steeped in tradition, with a fiercely loyal fan base and a history spanning over 150 years, could become the canvas for Ma's next grand venture, one that mixes sport, technology, and global market strategy. His history of transforming industries could signal a new era, and Ibrox football finance experts are already speculating about what a May-led Rangers could look like. Deeper investment in infrastructure, stronger presence in Asia, and advanced use of data analytics and digital engagement, potentially turning the club into a modern powerhouse both on and off the pitch. However, some fans and pundits are wary, citing concerns about the soul of the club being compromised in the pursuit of global expansion and commercial gain. Still, if Jack Ma's history is any indication, his involvement is never passive. From founding Alibaba in his Hangzhou apartment to challenging Chinese regulators, he has always operated at the intersection of vision and disruption. Now, as he eyes the blue half of Glasgow, Scottish football might just be on the verge of a transformation it never saw coming. Greetings, fans! Make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, as it's greatly appreciated by Rangers FC. And don't forget to share your thoughts on the news in the comments section below. Until the next video, stay tuned.